The world of dentistry has changed tremendously, hasn't it? When I think about starting in 1983, I think was my first year in dentistry, it is totally different now. So we have to be able to implement change. Change is an ongoing thing. And I want to teach you the R.I.S.E process that I teach when I coach teams nationwide. It works so well to help you move forward and implement things successfully. Number one, before you ever change anything, review what are you currently doing? What's working, what's not? What's in it for the patients, the practice, and the team, all three gotta win, for the change? Is it a value of 8 to 10? And if it's not at least a value of 8, it's not worthy of the change because you will not sustain it. You'll not sustain it, 8 to 10 value. And then the I is for implement, the implementation. And this is great. How many of you have team meetings? Raise your hand. I'd love to see all your hands go up. Team meeting time is practice time. The I for implement is like, you're talking about what are you going to implement, who's going to do it, and who you're going to do it for, when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, why you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it. And you go through all those steps. And then you define what is your standard operating procedure. Everybody remember operation? Remember that? Yeah. You define what it is that you want in each of those steps, and that helps you create. So it's always what, who for, when, where, why, and how. And if you can answer all those questions, you're set to go with the information. But then you have to practice. And you practice verbal skills, and you practice role-playing. And again, everybody hates role-playing, I know. But if we can't do it with each other, we sure can't do it with patients. And also set yourself up to succeed. Practice the physical walkthrough so that when you go into that space, you're set up, everything supports you. It makes a big difference. So that's the R.I.S E. The S is for sustain. Oftentimes, we talk about something at a team meeting and we go, yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a great idea. And we implement it and we do it for a while. And then about 2 weeks get it, and like, we don't like that. It's not as fast as it was before. We don't care, but it's not comfortable. In order for us something to be sustained, it has to become a habit. Think about it. When you come into the office in the morning, do you even think about what you do anymore? You set up, you're so routine. All of us love to operate on autopilot. Like, go ahead and cross your arms. Cross your arms. Now cross them the other way. For some of you, you're like, ambidextrous, doesn't matter. But the rest of us, it's awkward. Even crossing our arms is a habit we sustain. We like the routine. So if we want to sustain a habit, it takes precise and consistent repetition. Precise and consistent. And the average habit takes 66 days. 66 days. So when we only try something for 2 weeks, we've never given it a shot to even survive. So when we're going to commit to something, we want to give it at least 66 days. 66 days. And that's the commitment we make as a team. We're going to work on this for 2 months. We're going to focus on that. There are no individual opt-outs. We help each other. That's the commitment part. And then we pursue excellence. Initially, when you try something new, you're not going to be perfect at it. And for those of you hygienists, I'm sorry, because most of you are perfectionists. I know that. And it's really difficult when you are a perfectionist to not be perfect right from the get-go. But we have to be able to practice, and over time, we become excellent at it. It's not about it. We persevere until we win. Do you ever feel that way? Yeah, some days, right? And then the E is for evaluate. We want to continue to evaluate. Is it still working? Were we able to successfully implement it? And that way, you're not keeping systems or processes that are so far outdated. Does it still work for us? If not, let's talk about it. Let's tweak it. And that will help you implement any change that you need to make. I love this quote. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going.